Most veterans think LinkedIn is just for posting your resume and hoping someone notices you. But the veterans landing jobs through LinkedIn aren't just uploading their profiles and waiting, they're using it as a direct line to hiring managers, bypassing HR departments, and getting interviews for jobs that aren't even posted yet. We've worked with thousands of veterans at Lakewood University, and the ones who land civilian careers use LinkedIn as a networking tool, not just a job board. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use LinkedIn to get in front of decision makers, build relationships that lead to job offers, and turn your profile into a magnet for recruiters. You know, one of the biggest mistakes I see veterans make on LinkedIn, as a veteran myself, I made the very same mistakes. We use our exact military job titles and acronyms. And here's the thing, most civilian employers have no idea what those mean. So when you're listing 11B or NCOIC or XYZ, they're not thinking, wow, that's impressive. They're thinking, I don't understand what this person actually does. Another trap a lot of us fall into is just copying our job description. So your profile ends up looking like a laundry list of duties. For example, saying responsible for training, oversaw equipment, maintain readiness, that's fine. But here's the problem. There are thousands of veteran profiles that say the exact same thing. You just blend into the background. What really stands out is when you highlight achievements, like how many people you have led, the results you got, or the impact you've made. And here's the last big one. No industry keywords. Recruiters don't sit around guessing what to type in LinkedIn. They're search-specific terms tied to the jobs they're hiring for. If your profile doesn't have those keywords, you're basically invisible. You could be the perfect fit, but they'll never even see your name. So the bottom line, translate your experience into civilian language, focus on accomplishments, and sprinkle in the right keywords. That's how you go from hidden to getting noticed. Let's talk about networking for a second, because this is where a lot of veterans get ignored on LinkedIn. First off, those generic, like, I'd like to connect requests, hiring managers see dozens of those every single day, and 9 times out of 10, they just delete them. If you don't take the extra 30 seconds to personalize it, like mentioning why you want to connect or what you admire about their company, you're basically just another faceless request. Second mistake, only connecting with other veterans. Now, don't get me wrong, it feels good to stick with people who understand you, and you absolutely should build veteran connection. But here's the catch. Civilian employers and recruiters are the ones actually making the hiring decisions. If your entire network is just other vets, you're not expanding into the circles where jobs actually get handed out. And finally, waiting around for the perfect job posting to appear before you start reaching out. That's a recipe for missed opportunities. So many jobs get filled through networking before they even hit the job board. If you're sitting back and only applying once a listing goes public, you're already behind the line. Bottom line, personalize your invites, diversify your connections beyond just veterans, and don't wait for a posting. Start those conversations early. That's how you get noticed instead of getting ignored. All right, so let's talk about how to actually build your veteran to civilian LinkedIn strategy. Step 1 is all about translation. Here's what I mean. When you put your exact military job title on LinkedIn, most civilian employers just don't know what it means. If you were a platoon sergeant, think about how that translates on the civilian side. That's basically a team manager or operations supervisor. You want to use language that employers recognize and immediately see value in. Next, instead of saying you were responsible for 30 soldiers, frame it in civilian terms. You led and you managed a team of 30 people, coordinated training, and made sure critical projects were completed on time. That sounds a whole lot like project management, leadership development, and business operation, skills companies are hiring for every day. And here's the kicker. You've got to use numbers. Civilian hiring managers love metrics. So instead of maintain equipment readiness, you might might say oversaw maintenance for $10 million worth of equipment with 98% readiness rate. Or instead of train new recruits, you could say developed and delivered training programs for 120 plus team members, improving performance scores by 25%. Numbers make your accomplishments jump off the page. Bottom line, translate the title, reframe your responsibilities, and put some hard data behind your achievements. That's how you make your military experience click with the civilian employers. Once you've translated your military experience, the next step is optimizing your profile so civilian employers can actually find you. Let's start with your summary. Think of this as your story in plain English, where you've been and where you're going. Don't just repeat your resume. Use this space to connect your military background to your civilian career goals. For example, you might say, after leading teams and managing operations in the Army, I'm now focused on bringing that same leadership and problem solving into project management in the tech industry. That way, employers immediately see the bridge from your service to their world. Next, keywords. This is where a lot of veterans miss out. LinkedIn is basically one big search engine, and recruiters type in very specific words when they're looking for candidates. So if you want to break into IT, make sure you use words like cybersecurity, network administration, or technical support show up in your summary and your experience. If it's project management, you'll want budget management, process improvement, stakeholder communication. Match your keywords to the jobs you're targeting. And finally, the experience section. Don't just list what you did in the military, show how it transfers. Instead of responsible for logistics, you could write coordinated supply chain operations across 3 locations, ensuring 100% on-time delivery. Highlight achievements that line up with civilian job descriptions and keep them results focused. Bottom line, write a summary that connects the dots, load your profile with the right keywords, and structure your experience to show the skills and results employers actually care about. By the way, if you want professional help translating your military skills and building a LinkedIn profile that gets interviews, our career services team provides resume and LinkedIn support as a part of our veteran programs. Click the first link to learn more. Now let's talk about networking the smart way, because on LinkedIn, who you know does really open doors. Step 1 is identifying the right people. Don't just connect randomly. Look up recruiters and hiring managers at the companies you're targeting. If you want a job at Amazon, search for Amazon recruiter or Amazon hiring manager right on LinkedIn. Those are the people you want in your corner. Step 2 is how to reach out. Skip the generic I'd like to connect. That usually gets ignored. Instead, personalize it. Something like, hi, Sarah, I'm a veteran transitioning into IT, and I admire the work Amazon is doing in cloud services. I'd love to connect and learn more about your team. Short, specific, and it shows you're serious. That's how you get accepted, and more importantly, start a real conversation. Once you're connected, don't just sit there quietly. Like and comment on their posts. Share relevant articles, or write your own short posts about what you're learning. You're not just showing up in their feed, you're demonstrating that you know your stuff and you're invested in the industry. That's how you move from being a stranger to being top of mind when opportunities come up. Bottom line, identify the right people, send personal invites, and stay active with thoughtful engagement. That's how you turn LinkedIn networking into actual job opportunities. All right, this is where LinkedIn really becomes your secret weapon to land interviews. First, stop relying on the apply now button. Everybody is doing that. Instead, use LinkedIn to research the company. Look up who the hiring manager might be or runs the department you want to join. Once you find them, reach out directly. Something as simple as, hey Mike, I just applied for the project coordinator role at your company. I'm a veteran with a background in operations and leadership, and I'd love to connect to learn more about your team. That extra step sets you apart from the crowd immediately. Second, follow up. After you apply online, don't just sit and wait. Send a quick LinkedIn message to the recruiter or manager saying, I wanted to let you know I applied and I'm really excited about the opportunity. I'd love to share how my background and you name the skill, could help with your team. That little nudge can be the difference between your application getting lost in the pile and put to the very top. And third, don't forget about your veteran network. Tons of companies are actively recruiting veterans, but they may not post every opportunity. If you connect with other vets already working at those companies, they can often refer you internally. And a referral, man, that's like a fast pass to the interview stage. Bottom line, research the company, message the decision makers, follow up on your applications, and lean on your veteran network. That's how you turn LinkedIn from just another job board into a direct line to get interviews. Your military service has already proven you can handle responsibility, work under pressure, and lead teams through challenging situations. LinkedIn just gives you the platform to show civilian employers what they're missing if they don't hire you. Stop waiting for the perfect job posting to appear and start reaching out directly to the people who make hiring decisions. And if you want help building a LinkedIn strategy that actually gets you interviews, check out our career services support through the link below.